Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
Hi Laura, welcome to the Fan Carpet. I'm Sophia Jessica, and so you are Laura Wilson, and you're the director of In Bluebell Wood. I just wanted to ask you what inspired you to create this film.
It didn't start off as a film. It started off back in late. When was it now? Was it 2018? I was working on a TV pilot, and I was also casting the extras. The pilot, which we were shooting at the time, was set in a school, so I was casting all the child extras. And after we'd filmed, I kept in contact with quite a lot of the parents, just because they kind of wanted to ask me just industry questions, because a lot of the children had never really been on a set before. And I was really happy to keep in contact and kind of help out in any way. And they kind of all decided one day that they wanted to shoot a showreel scene for all the children so they could have something to show. And I offered to write a couple of pages of A4 for them, and that's kind of where Bluebell Wood started. I wrote a couple of sheets of A4, and I thought to myself, well, actually, this is kind of a good idea. And I just kept writing and writing and writing, and in the end, we got to about 25 pages, and I just kind of messaged the parents, and I was like, hey, ladies, I think I'm going to keep this one to myself, but I'll definitely write you another one, because I kind of told them the ideas. So I was like, I don't want you guys to be disappointed if it's like a completely different thing that I've been explaining all this time. But yeah, I kind of wrote it, and I didn't really know what to do with it at the time. I didn't really have any contacts of people who could read it or help out in any way, so it's kind of just been saved on a laptop hard drive for about a year. And then I met Laura Saxon, who is going to be co-directing with me. I kind of pitched it to her because she has a production company, Saxon Productions, and that's kind of where we are right now.
That's very interesting. And could you tell us what the movie is about in your own words?
Yeah. So I've had quite a lot of rewrites. I ended up getting to around 34 pages, and I kind of thought to myself, well, this is going to be my first film, and it's a bit silly to go straight in with a feature film. So I thought, I'll kind of whittle it down to a proof of concept. So right now we are at 15 pages, so we are approximately 15 minutes short film. And it's about a young girl called Eden who goes on a survival skill weekend with her version of the Brownies, which is called the Explorers. And basically they find something in the woods that they really don't expect to find. That's pretty much it.
Oh, wow. And what genre would you say this is?
So it's something that me and Laura Saxon have spoken about quite a bit. We definitely have elements of adventure, mystery, and fantasy in there. I wouldn't want to try and put it into a specific category because there's definitely elements of all three in there. So yeah.
Sounds great. And if we could go back to your beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the film industry?
Like from the very beginning, like with acting, or sort of behind the camera?
Both, actually, if you could let us know about your acting side and directing.
I think I don't really think there was a specific defining moment for me as an actress. It's always been there, and it's always been in a dream of mine, should we say, to kind of just be a working actress. You know, kind of growing up watching soaps and hospital dramas like Casualty, especially. I love that one. It's always kind of been the dream. But I think with regards to working behind the camera, that kind of came probably when I was doing the TV pilot, when I first met the children that I wrote Bluebell Wood for. We're kind of halfway through shooting that, and I'm playing the lead role, the older version of the younger little girl. And I kind of offered to do the extras casting and assist the director, because I had a bit of an interest. I wanted to learn more about what's behind the camera, because I think as an actor, it's great knowing what happens in front, but it's really great to know what happens behind, you know. It just gives you a round knowledge of everything, how everything works. So yeah, I'd say the defining moment for being behind the camera would be the TV pilot, day one, a couple of years ago.
Great. And do you have a preferred movie genre to watch or direct? Are they the same or different?
It's totally different. To watch, if I wanted to watch a movie just right now, it would be horror for sure. Definitely. It doesn't matter if it's psychological, slasher, comedy, horror, it doesn't matter. I just love being scared and the whole atmosphere of the tenseness in the room, wondering what's going to happen. But to direct, it would definitely be something along the kind of fantasy, mystery, adventure lines, like what we're doing with Bluebell Wood. I know. I think horror for me is great to watch, but I don't know if it's something that I specifically enjoy directing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is there a reason for that, or is it just what would you say?
I don't know, maybe a couple of years down the line, when I have a little bit more experience directing and working behind the camera, I might feel a bit different about it. But I think at this moment in time, I think horror is, I mean, every genre is its own, but I think horror is probably the most difficult, because a lot of people know horror and they expect jump scares, they expect crazy twists which haven't been done before, and I think it's a bit of a difficult one.
And do you have any favorite films?
My most favorite film in the world is Matilda.
Oh, that's great. Would you ever consider, recreating it in the future?
Oh, I don't think Matilda should be touched. I really don't. I'd love to, but right now, I don't think anyone should touch it.
It's perfect how it is, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And are there any other parts of the film industry that you would like to explore?
I would. I'd love to cast, but only for extras and supporting artists. I really enjoy doing sort of paperwork. I love organising everything. And I think kids casting as well. I love working with kids. That's always been a passion of mine. So, yeah.
The casting director sounds good.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah. And does anyone in particular inspire you within the industry?
A lot of people. In all different areas, sort of actors. I think my biggest influence from as long as I can remember has been Nicole Kidman, and Sandra Bullock. Those two have been absolutely perfect. I love Harrison Ford as well. Oh my God, I just love him. I don't know what I'd do if I ever met him. I think I'd just like faint or something. But yeah, I'm currently working my way through a list of directors and their films, and I'm kind of studying their way of working in preparation to kind of go into Bluebell Wood in October. So yeah.
And would you say that those actors would be part of your sort of dream team as actors?
Yes, but I would feel so intimidated if ever I got on set with any of them. I don't know what I'd do. It would be fantastic to work with them, but oh my gosh, I don't know. I'd be like shaking all the way through it like this.
Well, that's normal when you sort of meet and work with your idols, even if it's just on the inside.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And do you have a dream project, would you say?
I haven't done any TV yet, so I think like an episodic series would be great, just because I hear that it's really fast paced and you're shooting like 5 episodes in advance one time, and then the next day you're 20 episodes in advance. You know, I think that would be such an amazing challenge, because I'm used to doing feature film, and it's just the one script, you've got it right there. Sometimes you only have a couple of weeks to prepare. Other times you've got 6 to 8 months to prepare, and it's just that one script. But with sort of TV series, you're pretty much given the script the week before, and it's not just the one script, it's like 5 or 6, you know. So that would definitely be a great challenge. I'd love to do something like that in the future.
Yeah, sounds good. And would you rather create something original or recreate something that you've seen before in a film or series?
Oh, it would always be original. Definitely. I feel like you could probably take elements of things that you've seen, but I don't know, I get a lot of satisfaction thinking that this is the first of its kind. If that makes sense?
Yes. And I guess you can sort of put more ideas and creativity into it, because you're not thinking about, you know, how to recreate something that has been done before. You're sort of really starting something from scratch.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was wondering, are you a fan of books? Are there any books that you particularly like that you've gained inspiration from?
I love Harlan Coben's books, and I'm so happy that there is a Netflix contract to make them into series. I don't know if you've seen any of them. One of them was called Safe.
Oh, right. No, I haven't. I'll keep an eye out for it, though.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I think it's been out for about a year now. But there's a couple more, and oh god, the names have just slipped my mind right now. But he's fantastic. There's one book in particular that I'd love to see made. It's called Into the Woods by Harlan Coben, and it's fantastic.
But with Safe, actually, that it rings a bell. It doesn't have. Oh, hold on. I was just trying to think of the actors, because is it a film or a series? Sorry, did you say?
It's a series. I think it's like a 6-part, either 4 or 6-part, I think.
Yeah, no, I've seen a film called Safe, but I wonder if that's also based on the same thing. I'll have to have a look into that. But
interesting. Yeah, I'll have a look at that as well.
Yeah. And what's your favourite part of directing, would you say?
Well, I haven't directed anything yet. Bluebell Wood's going to be my first time.
Oh, it's
but sorry, go on.
Oh, so it's your debut, this film for directing.
It is.
How does that feel?
It's exciting, but it's really nerve-wracking as well. Just because, I mean, I know directors that I've worked with, so I'm kind of modeling myself on how they've worked. But we have a ridiculous large cast, and the majority of them are children. So I know it's definitely going to be a challenge. And yeah, it's going to be a clean slate all over completely, just start from the very beginning. And yeah, but I'm glad that I'm working with kids on my first one, because like I said, I've worked with kids since I was pretty much a kid myself, and it's, apart from acting and obviously now being behind the camera, working with kids is like the passion. So yeah, I love it.
Sounds like you're doing a bunch of things that you love, so that's really exciting. And I did want to ask you how you met your co-director, Laura Saxon.
Yeah, so me and Laura were talking online for a good year before we actually met. And we both ended up being judges at a film festival. And I didn't realise that she was on the judging panel until I was sort of given access to the Film Freeway festival account. And I saw Laura on there, and I messaged her straight away, and I was like, oh my gosh, we should totally get like a hotel room or something so we can both be there in person and actually watch the selections. And so we did, and we ended up meeting, and we kind of share exactly the same thoughts on pretty much everything. But when I first met Laura in person, she didn't know anything about In Bluebell Wood. In fact, it wasn't even called In Bluebell Wood, it was called Untitled. And one night we watched some really good films this one night, and I thought, oh, I'll have a glass of wine. So I was sort of having a glass of wine while I was watching these films, and we went back to the hotel, and I said, hey, you know what? I've got a film, it's Untitled, but I'll tell you all about it. So she was literally sat there for like an hour while I explained in Bluebell Wood to her, and she was like, quite like that. Maybe we should kind of get together and work on it. And, you know, like we kind of parted ways after a couple of days. And then a couple of months later, Laura was like, so, you know, are we going to do anything about this film? I was like, yeah, why not? And that was January just gone. And it's been insane ever since.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. How, you know, how you met, and how, you know, you had the idea, and, you know, you're all set to get started with that now. I know the lockdown obviously has changed a lot of people's plans, but obviously it's still going ahead once you can, and you have that to look forward to. Have you been preparing for that, you know, during the lockdown, or what have you been up to in the quarantine?
Well, I've been kind of organising interviews for some of our younger actors, because the whole point of Bluebell Wood, for me, as well as making something that looks great and that everybody who worked on can be proud of, I want it to be a really great experience for the kids in it. I know a lot of the kids have a lot of experience already. Mainly the older ones, they've filmed abroad. They've done leading roles in films. Some of them have been in the cinema. But a lot of our younger actors have never been on a set before. And for a lot of them as well, this will be their first ever time speaking on camera. So I want it to be a really great experience for them, first and foremost. And I thought by setting up the interviews and sort of having a link to their interview, and obviously their picture next to it, it would kind of kickstart the whole experience in a really positive light. And yeah, it's just been, for me personally, it's been about the networking and promoting. I know Laura Saxon has been doing a lot on the legal side of things, and she has been a godsend, because that side of everything I don't really get. But she's obviously got her own production company, and she knows what she's doing, which is great.
Awesome. And you said that you were a judge with Laura Saxon at the film festival. What was the film festival called, out of interest? And also, how was the experience of being a judge?
So it was Sheffield Film Festival, and I really enjoyed it. It was really great to see the different categories. There was a student category and they blew me away. If they hadn't have told me they were students, I would have thought they were professional filmmakers. It was fantastic. And it was a whole great learning experience. I mean, we met some of the directors of some of the films, and we had a really great chat with them. We learned sort of where their inspiration came from, a lot of it. It's just kind of picking everybody's brains, really, and just finding out, having it's just, it was a really great experience, and I really enjoyed it. And it was quite hard to put into words. I learned a lot from a lot of different people.
Sounds wonderful. And do you have any future projects? Do you have any future projects in mind that you're either working on, or you sort of have made a note of to get into?
In front or behind the camera?
Either. Any projects in the industry, I'd say.
Okay. So me and Laura have been talking about a couple more that we'd really like to work on. One of them is a feature film, and the other one's a web series. The web series, we have a script penned at the moment, and the feature film, we've got more of like the main points, like the beginning, middle, and an end, and certain things that we'd like to put in there. But obviously, we don't want to run before we've walked. So we're gonna go for Bluebell Wood first and see what the experience is like. So that's kind of, for me, in terms of behind the camera, that's what I'm looking at the moment. I have a few projects in front of the camera that have obviously been put on hold because of coronavirus, and hopefully they're going to start picking up in the next couple of months, because I'm getting serious withdrawals from being on set, man.
I understand. But would you consider adapting In Bluebell Wood into a feature-length film? Once you've completed the short film, would you consider that?
Definitely. I mean, that is the aim. Like the next couple of years, we're hoping that once it's been made, we can pop it into festivals, hopefully get some recognition, fingers crossed, maybe get some selections, nominations, awards, and from there create finance to make the feature. The script, similar to the other feature film that I was just talking about, that we haven't written so much at all, we do have a beginning, middle, and an end for the feature length in Bluebell Wood. But because of the genre and everything that's happening in it, I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. I'm so sorry. It's a mix between sort of the Goonies, Alice in Wonderland, and the Narnia films. So that should give you a bit of an idea as to the budget we'd potentially be looking at for the feature film. So we'd have to really, really be pretty precise as to sort of the business plan with that. But yeah, at the moment, we're just looking at the short film.
Yeah, it's just one step at a time, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
For our audience, do you have social media that we can follow to keep an eye out on your updates?
Yeah, definitely. I've got Facebook, just Laura Ellen Wilson. You'll find me there. Instagram and Twitter, I am Laura E. Wilson, and you should see this come up, and that's me.
Perfect. Well, we wish you the best with all your projects, and thank you so much for interviewing with us, and hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. It's been great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Laura. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca. With the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels, it's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.